asked her if she'd stay a while. She said that's really not my style. I might be here for tonight, but baby I'll be gone in the morning light. Take me away to my favorite place, where I don't have to grow up and stay this young forever. Baby, can you play this game to all you too busy growing up to be something you don't wanna be? Anywhere except where you gotta be tonight. Oh, you don't wanna be anywhere except where you gotta be tonight. Wherever you are tonight, I wanna be by your side. We can stay right here and get your next flight. And does it matter? And does it matter? Take me away to my favorite place, where I don't have to grow up and stay this young forever. Baby, can you play this game to all you too busy growing up to be something you don't wanna be? Anywhere except where you gotta be tonight. Oh, you don't wanna be anywhere except where you gotta be tonight. I wanna be wherever you are, wherever you are. I wanna be wherever you are, wherever you are. Anywhere except where you gotta be tonight. Oh, you don't wanna be anywhere except where you gotta be tonight. I wanna be, wherever you are, wherever you are. I wanna be, wherever you are, wherever you are.
Take your words back home, but back away nice and slow. Feel the ebb and flow, but please get sucked out to sea. I wonder where you are, 'cause you know I take these things kinda extra hard. This back and forth will take me anywhere I need to be. I can't need you anymore. You're out there, you're on your own, and I can't need you anymore. They say all good things must end, but it's been too long since I've seen one again. It's over now, you played your role, now it's time to dissipate. I may not get very far, let's be honest, I will never be a star. Holding on, take me anywhere I need to be. Take a good look, 'cause I'll be gone. I can't need you anymore. back home. Back way nice and slow. Feel the ebb and flow. But please get sucked out to sea. I will believe beyond be hopeful and try not to undo that which was built all around me. Take it all the way back to the melody. All we want is attack back where we wanna be, and all we had was our ways about it all. I think you don't know now, but it could be so much better, yeah. I just need a band to save me. I just need a song of hope, and I wish somebody would amaze me still and not make me feel like I'm alone. I will believe while lost and still broken.
Welcome, race fans from around the globe. Here they come, out of turn 4, to the white flag, and it's 1 to go. Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to 1 to Go Studios coverage of the 2021 Spring Summer Lightspeed Racing League's Xfinity Series, presented by Grid Finder, Wilder Graphics, The Buttkicker, Sim Speed Shops, and Track Time Entertainment. Tonight we bring you round coverage for round 14 live from the Talladega Super Speedway in Lincoln, Alabama. The guys have finished qualifying, the grid's being set, and we're going to show you that grid here for the Buttkicker 58 as the guys are gridding up. The pole award heads out to Anthony Giuliano for the 55.099. He's our put a cap on that pole award winner. We are receiving that Sweatless baseball cap for being the pole winner for today's race. And now, without ado, we'll get to the grid for the start here. All right, here we go. Starting on the inside for this Grid Finder starting lineup for the Buttkicker 58. Anthony Giuliano will be rolling off in the inside of row 1. Outside him, Antti Bergani. Row 2 is Ira Koolhaas and Cameron Hearn. Row number 3, David Dunwoody and Justin Wilson. Row 4, Adam Caveman O'Brien and Kerry Moore in row 4. Row number 5, Seth Ryder and Landon Quisenberry. Inside of row 6 is Chris Resnowski and Joe Marotta. In row 7, Dan Worley and Pat O'Brien. Row 8, Kevin Anderson and Logan Powers. Row 9, Samuel Fontaine, Chase Berry. Brandon Ayers and Johnny Rapp will be in row 10. Row 11, Garrett Belzy and Christopher Couric. Row 12, Chandler Sommer and Charles Whitehead. Anthony Ludi and Patrick Vicker will be out in row 13. And ending on the end here is Keith Bouchard in the 27th position in row number 14. That's your starting grid for the Talladega Super Speedway, Lincoln, Alabama. Your starting grid for the Buttkicker 58, presented by Grid Finder. Find your place on the grid. Getting ready to go green flag racing here as you see the front row of Giuliano and Brigante. Throw up our weather here, presented by Lottie'sTravelWorld.com. The weather for the Buttkicker 58, partly cloudy skies. This track temperature is a hot 105 with a relative humidity of 10%. So a hot day here in Alabama in the afternoon conditions on the Super Speedway. You're running 58 laps as we're getting ready to go green here. First lap is presented by the Sim Speed Shop. Sim Speed Shop specializes in custom sim racing hardware. You can check out simspeedshop.com today as we're getting ready to go to the green flag. Sim Speed Shop presenting that first lap. We're going to head up here right inside with our pole sitter. Watching on board with Anthony Giuliano in his rig and in his race car as he's leading the way down to the backstretch on lap number 1. Side by side, someone pushing 3 wide. It's Justin Wilson taking it up to the high line. You see everybody rolling through turn 3 down to the front stretch. Here we go. Giuliano being pressed by Ira Kohlhaas. Is trying to get that first lap led. It looks like Andy Bergani will take the lead across the stripe, and he'll lead lap number 1. Pat O'Brien on the outside. Bergani slides down in front of Giuliano. The Black Magic team guys are all on the top line. So we're running 3 wide around the track, around the 4th position. As the Black Magic 3 are up in the high hit groove. With Andy Bergani leading the bottom line. It looks like Seth Ryder leading that middle. And we're finishing lap number 2, the 152 being pressed by the 86 as they're trying to make things work. Pat O'Brien going to get down there behind the 86, so now we're only in 2 file. So everybody out here on the raceway here. There is our ticker, which will be bouncing all over the place, because this is Talladega Super Speedway. Watching those front groups here. Bergani running that inside line and Ryder on the outside. There's Kathy Joe checking in. This is Talladega with the LSRL Xfinity guys. 27 cars out here, and we're green flag for lap number 4. We're looking at Justin Wilson. He was the winner of the Glen last week and actually yesterday with the Cup cars. So a pretty productive week for Justin Wilson in the 58 as he swept both events at the road course last week. Now we're going to the High Banks High Speed Talladega Super Speedway where anything goes. Great equalizer this track is, where anybody has the ability to win. You see these guys all spread out up and down the racetrack. Looking at that 58 of Justin Wilson. Looking for a 3 wide up front. That's the 98. In front of them there. Still running 2 abreast here. So every once in a while somebody will peek out to the 3rd line, but for the most part 2 lines And Justin Wilson looking like he's going to bring that third line moving. Christopher Kurek at the 24 has now posted the fastest lap of the race. Working lap number 6 of the 58 for tonight. We will bring you right back to the action if we see anything, but we're going to need to do some of our sponsor stuff. First off, Sweatless. They provided the Full Center Award, and that went today to the number 17 of Anthony Giuliano. That was our Pull Award sponsor, Sweatless. Train more, sweat less. They have that dry technology that will allow you to wear their stuff. It looks like we now have a new leader in Adam O'Brien in the 775. And the Sweatless is the presenter, like I said, of the Pull Award, and they provide that baseball cap to a pull sitter once they get their first hat. That's it for the league, but we've been sending quite a few of those out. And it looks like Cameron Hearn's going to bring that top groove alive here. As we see the 15 trying to make a challenge down there. David Dunwood in that 46 now has the midline running. As we're running up her front with the 775 and the 46 side by side. Ryder behind Adam O'Brien pushing the bottom line train. Ira Kohlhaas, Cameron Hearn to the top side. They're going to go 3 wide going into turn number 1 at about the 5th position down back. Looks like David Dunwoody jumping up in front of the third line, in front of Ira Kohlhaas, moving number 98, and I believe that's Converse. It's in that 98 car. Not sure because I'm not seeing a 98 on scoring, so I'm not sure who that may be. .46 down all the way to the yellow line. To jump down in front there. Like Logan Powers is that 98. He's actually the 209. So we'll try to keep that in mind. The number 86 has now brought it in front here, and I always tear up his name, so we'll just go with Chris as Ryder looks to the outside of Chris. A little bit of contact between the 46 and the 86 to keep it straight here. Working lap number 10 as the race cars are moving around this racetrack at a pretty good clip. Everybody's keeping their noses clean. We're 2 wide back to the 5th position, where we got a third line working out with Ira Kohlhaas and Cameron Hearn. So they'll dive underneath with Adam O'Brien and keep it back down to 2 lines as Ryder moves down and in front of the 86. He'll take over the lead with Powers now moving up. Looks like he's going all the way to the top side. Whoa, but it did not look like there was a lot of room there, and Adam O'Brien in the middle line charges around the number 98. Sometimes you block and sometimes you don't, but the blocks can cause calamity for everybody in line as we're only in a lap number 11. Looks like the 46 going to take that low line underneath the 86. The 152 goes with him. So Ryder in the lead with the 46 in the second spot, and they're down pressing hard on the 86. And now Powers there right behind him as we're coming around the corner here, coming back to the stripe. 86 going to try to get to the stripe first, down to the tri-oval. I don't need to hear about storms in Dundalk. I gotta keep this thing great. Keep broadcasting here, so keep the stuff there, Kathy. The 152 and 46, and the 29, the 86, and Powers and 98 on the mid side. Looks like the Powers going to try to see if we can get that third line moving on the outside. And it looks like Giuliano, Hearn, and Adam O'Brien are going to try to get that high side moving, as the 152 of Ryder continues to lead the charge here, as Ira Kohlhaas looking underneath the 86 to take over the third spot here at Talladega, as we're working to finish lap number 12. As you see Dunwoody and Ryder in that 152 getting that low line train moving. 4 cars now in the front as we continue to work into turn number 1, lap 13 of the 58. 86 down to the apron, slides back up into traffic. Nobody, no action there, but a little bit of damage to the back of the 86. You see that damage to the left rear corner panel of the 86 car. And just keep it down there, Kathy. It's okay. And Ryder's leading the way here. As we see Dunwoody pushing Ryder, Ira Kohlhaas with Cameron Hearn working that high line. Powers left side, right side. He's got to pick the line, but he's staying now. Kind of looks like he's splitting, looking to the high side. 86 sticking with Anthony Giuliano, the 4-car train to the bottom. 4-car train high. The 51 and the 48 kind of watching back here. That's Whitehead and Worley in the 9th and 10th spot, kind of sitting back a little bit. Anthony Brigani in that 11th spot, looks like he's just outside of the draft here for the front cars. And then he's got a little bit of distance between him and Kerry Moore in the 182. A little bit of sliding around in the front here. The 17 car was our pole sitter. And he's going to slide up, try to see if we can get it in front of Ira Kohlhaas. And that train is trying to work the mid side all the way around Ryder and Dunwoody, who've been working pretty good as a tandem team on the bottom line of this train, as we're working lap number 15 now. We hit the stripe here. And people down low around that apron. It's the 3rd car I've seen go through there. The 48 of Dan Worley. And now the 051 of Charles Whitehead. That yellow line can be very treacherous here at Talladega. As you see that number 51 going down there once more, and that's Charles Whitehead. That line is really slick. You catch it in the wrong area, it will turn that car completely around. And you see Ryder and Dunwoody continuing to lead the way here. And Chris Whitehead. Whoa, around the car is number 98. That's Powers, and there's a lot of calamity going on in the back there. So Powers looks like the first car that's going to start off the chain reaction. As the caution comes out. There's the 98, but he scored at the 209 as we come into turn number 1. I was saying he was kind of sliding up, down, and around and not really holding a good line. This is the 775 of Adam O'Brien there in front of him on the midline. 209 there. Adam O'Brien on the 3rd there. So the 98 is going to follow. There's 3 wide right there underneath him in turn 3. Oh, there's the contact between the 48 and the 17 that brings the 775 around up into the number 98. Let's get back to the leaders here. Coming down pit lane. And Dan Worley, which is the number 48, was issued an EOL penalty, as well as Anthony Giuliano for the contact that started off that chain reaction. So the guys are coming down pit lane, fuel and tires. And while we're doing that, let's kick it off to the Grid Finder, our other sponsor, our sponsor for the grid and our results. Grid Finder, find your place on the grid. All right, that was from the Grid Finder. As we're looking at the front, Samuel Fontaine, Joe Marotta, and Kevin Anderson actually were the only two that stayed out. So the 22 and the 5 has stayed out. 17 laps. I'm being told 25 laps is the pit window. So they're looking to stay out for seeing that it might be another caution pretty soon. So they'll have to come back in around lap 25 or so. These few caution laps may change that a little bit. Well, let's give Sim Speed Shops. They're specialized in custom sim racing hardware. Sim Speed Shops manufacture sim racing hardware, utilize the best components available, as well as mixing in real-life racing components when available. Customize your hardware and rig today. Visit www.simspeedshops.com. Today, for those racing simulator needs, they provided our first lap as a grid finder. They do provide our grid. Find your place on the grid with the Grid Finder. Fontaine now coming in with Joe. I guess they were trying to see if they could lead a lap, which Fontaine would have there. That'll bring Ryder back to the front. Pat O'Brien will be in the third spot. Regani Dunwoody. Burley and Velzy have quit the service here. So the 48 and the 999 are out. With now Giuliano, O'Brien, Kerry Moore all down a lap. And I believe those were all cars that were involved in the pileup that started between the 17 and the, I believe it was the 48 of Worley. So Worley and Giuliano, and Powers was involved in that as well. Looks like Powers is also disconnected. So on the lead lap are 21 cars with Cameron Hearn in the back of the field here. As we're going to get back to green flag racing here momentarily. As we're ready to go, the pace car will back out, and they'll get ready to go. Ryder on the inside with Dunwoody behind him. Pat O'Brien will be on the outside with the 13 of Andy Bergani behind him. That's the front two rows. As we're going to have 40 laps remaining and get back to green flag conditions. Pace car moving off the track. Ryder looking down the long straightaway. He will fire him off in the restart zone. Holding, holding, holding. And they're now off as O'Brien and Ryder cross the stripes in the 1-2 position. The 46 of David Dunwoody pressing hard on the back of the 152. These guys have been working really good together, the 152 and the 46, throughout the beginning of this race, as that low line continues to chug along, and they're off to a big lead. The front three and that bottom now bringing Andy Bergani with them, so that's 4 cars. It looks like one more, the 76 of Johnny Rapp, going to move in here, so 5 cars running on the bottom line. It looks like the 86 has moved in. So now the 6 of Pat McVicker. And they have numbers on the bottom line. And that 6 now jumps to the high side, thinks a second about it, goes back down to the low line. So the low line has the numbers. The midline kind of stalled out there with only 3 cars up there. Working lap number 20 of 58, so 1/3 down. So showing 2 cars a lap down. That's Adam O'Brien and Anthony Giuliano. Looks like they are not able to keep up with the damage on their cars. Both of them only at 160 miles an hour, as the rest of the guys are about 200 miles an hour in their top speeds. 76 car of Rapp pushing behind Patrick O'Brien in the orange 59, as he's challenging to the high side of the 152 of Ryder. And Ira Kohlhaas is hooked up with Wilson, and they're trying to make the high side work. It's going to be a dog race there. It looks like Ryder just got over Pat O'Brien, as Pat O'Brien is going to actually be inched ahead of him coming into turn number 1. It looked like at the line that lap went to 152 of Ryder. Pat O'Brien being pushed by the 76 of Rapp. Down the back stretch we go. O'Brien jumping up in front of Ira Kohlhaas, leaves the 76 in the midline. You're seeing Ryder and Dunwoody working that bottom line. And Pat wanted to get high, and he's got company with Ira Kohlhaas and Wilson. But that's it, only the 3 cars, as Ludi drops down into the bottom line. As the 46 and the 152 continue to move down the field. O'Brien trying to mount that challenge to the high side. They just don't have the numbers yet. Only 4 cars up there. Ryder continues to lead the way. Down the back stretch we go. 86 blinking out. Now behind the 86, Chris. Ira Kohlhaas to the high side. Pat O'Brien moved to the 3rd position in the midline. It's Dunwoody and Ryder continue to be locked together along that bottom groove. Trying to mount a charge as that middle line, as the 76 and the 86 get into each other there as they cross through the tri-oval. '86 and the 76 sliding all the way up the track. Pat O'Brien looking down to go between them in the middle line. Has no help though. He's all by himself. No takers. Bergani, not sure if he passed under the yellow line there as he went by Ludi. See what race control says about that one. Not allowed to pass poor position under the yellow line unless you're pushed down there. But you're supposed to stay inbound inside the yellow. And you see O'Brien now, Pat O'Brien kind of be left out there by himself. Adam O'Brien in that 775. He's coming off a pit lane there. There's a lot of damage on his car. Somebody now moving to the mid groove has Pat O'Brien, his teammate, pushing him in the 86 with them as they start to mount charge to the front of the backstretch there. It looks like they are clear of the Ryder, and they move down the racetrack. They go 1-2 on the bottom side, leading the 86 and Pat McVicker on the high side, high and dry. Lap 24 of 58 being worked here. So coming up on the halfway mark with only one caution here at Talladega. Ryder pushing behind O'Brien has now done what he is the race leader at the stripe. Anthony Giuliano is getting approached quickly by this group here. As we look down and see Anthony Giuliano gets off the racetrack down there with that whole front end of that car from that early caution that took him out of contention here as we're working lap 25. Dunwoody, O'Brien on the bottom side, McVicker with Chris in the 86 trying to mount a charge. They've got a little bit of momentum. They're going to get to the line first. It looks like they won't, though. They're now starting to pick up some numbers, a little bit of help. The 86 all there by himself now as McVicker decided to drop down low. Cameron Hearn in that middle trying to find a spot for him. But your leader, there's Dunwoody, followed by O'Brien. McVicker in the 86 has help now with Ludi and Joe Marotta, Cameron Hearn, and Ira Kohlhaas. So the top line starting to get the numbers. Are they going to have enough to get around here? Dunwoody about a car and a half lead is in front of both lines here. Looks like he's going to go up and stall the 86, come back down the line as we come down the tri-oval. The complete lap 26. A little side-by-side contact with the 86 and the 46. And Pat O'Brien looked like he had to slide down to avoid. Looks like the 86 took over the race lead there. And he pinched down the 46 there. '46 followed by the 59 of O'Brien. They continued to work the bottom line. Ryder, Andy Bergani, and Charles Whitehead, all that bottom line. 86 sliding up the racetrack there. Like an arrow push on that car as he tries to slide down in front of Andy Bergani. I'm not sure how he thought there was any room there, because there was definitely no room. Now we're single file for the front 8 drivers as the 86 is going to try to start another charge again. Oh, Giuliano and O'Brien now being scored 4 laps down. Landon Quisenberry, the car in the 21st position, is the furthest behind. The 51 almost into the wall, slides back down in front of traffic. He's back in the wall again. And everybody's in evasive maneuvers. 86 pressing all the way down, trying to side draft. Not a wise move because he's on top of the race cars. He has a little bit of help now with Hearn and Ira Kohlhaas. Hearn just going to go around the outside, take it to the top, and oh, he turns him. Of course, now the caution comes out. But that 15, Cameron Hearn, looks like he got hooked by the 86. Backing this out here. Steve coming there, Hearn on the outside. Dunwoody coming to put a block on both of them. And the 86 just comes right on up into the back inside of the Tabasco 15 car. As the 86 just not sure what happened there. And race control basically putting that on the 86 and disqualified the 86 from racing. So David Dunwoody looks like he's leading this race at this point. So that'll give us time to give us another shout out. So let's head over to the Buttkicker, the event sponsor.
Buttkicker. Feel what you've been missing. Get yours today at www.thebuttkicker.com and be sure to use promo code LSRL for 20% off.
All right, be sure to use that code. We're going to start doing pits now. This is our second caution of the day. Leader is David Dunwoody in that number 46 car. Fastest lap was Keith Bouchard in the 64. Had 27 racers start the event. Looks like we now have 19 cars on the lead lap. Cameron Hearn has just disconnected. He was basically taken out by another driver, the number 86, who was disqualified for contact that was made on the raceway. That's Track Time Entertainment's race recap. Track Time Entertainment is located in Texas, builds custom driving simulators with a personal touch. Rigs are fully customizable with color options and utilize 80/20 extruded aluminum. These rigs offer a wide range of adjustability as well as different options for wheels, shifters, and keyboards. The possibilities are endless. If you can dream it, Track Time Entertainment can build it for you. All right, that's our race recap. Ryder and Dunwoody looks like the 1-2. Everybody went down pit lane, but nobody stayed out this time. I think David Dunwoody is your race leader with Ryder. And the two of them have pretty much been in the front 5 throughout the entire event. And we should be going about 2 more laps and we get back to green flag racing. We're past halfway here. Working lap 31 of the 58 for tonight's race. We're looking at 19 cars I'm seeing right now on the lead lap. O'Brien and Giuliano being a few laps back. All right, to pull Anthony Giuliano in here. He was our pole sitter tonight. Looks like that car got involved in that early caution. So back up here with us.
Yeah, man, that's it's super speedway racing. You know, we're coming to 15s. We're throwing the yellow flag for the competition caution, and we couldn't get out of turn 4 to get there. Trying to go 3 wide and a lot of people bouncing around, and I just got caught up in it. So it is what it is, man. But we're still out here having fun. Last wreck was a little unfortunate, but there's some fast cars out here, some good teams. So it should be a good race going forward here with some of these guys teamed up.
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned. They just saw maybe they're trying the could be fuel strategy, because I know I did talk to Black Magic and they were telling me that 25 laps was the fuel. And I saw David Dunwoody, we know him as Andy, and he came back down pit lane, gave up the lead by coming down a second time. So he may be looking at fuel.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly something to look at, and that's why we, put it at 15. And you've got the tires set at they've only got 3 changes, so 4 sets, 1 on the car to start, 3 in the pit. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens here with the strategy with the teams. The tough thing is really, if you get stuck on that outside, how are you going to get down inside to hit that pit lane, man? Because it's just it's crazy. Everybody's moving fast and everybody's quick, so it'll be fun.
It looks like Seth Ryder is going to be leading us back to the green flag here, and currently outside of him is Fontaine. And David Dunwoody was doing a good job pushing that 152 on that bottom line. Eventually he got around him and they kind of switched roles. But the two of them were pretty much leading this race for the most part. And I said a few other guys. I saw you guys up there a couple times on the high side. Looked like you were working with Ira Kohlhaas.
Yeah, Ira and Cam got up there. We were bumper to bumper, and we tried to work together as much as we could. So, it's going to be who's, nobody's friends right now, but we're going to find out who's going to be friends here in the next couple laps, and then it'll turn back into enemies at the last 2 or 3. So it'll be fun coming to green here.
All right, coming to the green, we got Ryder down low and Fontaine on the high side. Andy Regani, who's been doing pretty good, he was in the second spot in qualifying. He's in that third position right now on the low line. It seems like the low side was the place to be right now. But they do have a 5-car on the high side here, so they could make it work. We've got Pat O'Brien on the back of that trail with Buttkicker. Not really organized just yet, but they're still coming up under speed.
You're going to see I'm not sure what car Andy Brigante's in up there in the 13. You'll see him and Joe, and we got Pat O'Brien coming up through, making it 3 wide already, man. That's going to be pretty interesting. But Brigante and Murata should team up here together. You can see Landon Quisenberry come up there at some point. They'll team up together. So a lot of teams going up here pretty quick.
48 of Worley. He scored 16 laps down as we entered the racetrack, and he was able to stay high and out of the way. And man, Ryder and Brigante off. Well, there was a caution out. Not sure where that was, but I'll try to see if I can find that.
Looks like it's going to be on the 46 car going down the back stretch. Just getting a little bit of a draft, and not sure if he just kind of tapped him in the turn there. Got him pretty good.
They're riding here behind the 46. Like, that's the 051. Is that Whitehead there?
Yeah, that's going to be Whitehead. They got involved in that one.
And he comes up in the Ira Kohlhaas, and that was what brought out our caution.
It doesn't look like any of them sustained too much damage, though. So, maybe not too bad.
Okay, so that does change things. That fuel strategy that Dunwoody did kind of thrown out the window now. As well, Ryder's coming back down. That's interesting.
Yeah, and now we're sitting at what do we have? 58 laps, and we're sitting on lap 34.
There would be 24 laps left.
Yeah, so everybody should be good if they pit now. In theory, everybody would be good if we get another caution. So we'll see what happens.
The fuel is also like when you're in the front car, you're breaking the wind and you're using the most fuel. So that would have been Seth Ryder was the lead car there, so he could have been using more fuel and just needed to get that taken care of tonight.
Yeah, that's a big thing too. And the biggest thing with these tracks that a lot of guys have a lot of trouble with, and I learned from some of our teammates, Cameron Hearn, some guys like that run, is really dropping that steering ratio to be able to control it. Going 3 wide is easy to do here if you can control your car. That's the biggest key, is controlling that car. And if you're running a steering ratio of 10-1, 12-1, where you're really sawing on the wheel, you're having to move the wheel more to get the car to actually turn. at these type of tracks, it works against you that way. It gets you real loose going into the corners. Can't really hold a line, can't bump draft. So when you see guys getting kind of squirrely and they can't really hold a straight line, it more than likely 99.9% of the time, that's their issue, is they haven't changed that steering ratio. So the guys that have that steering ratio drop down to like an 8-to-1, which is as low as it'll go, those are the guys you're going to see that have more control over their cars, probably going to be up at the front of the pack at the end of the race and pretty clean. So, it's going to be interesting. Strategy does play a part, but, at these tracks, you really have to tune your equipment in a completely different way than you typically would to be fast and to be competitive and consistent.
Yeah, I've also noticed, though, that another side you say on it is the force feedback. I've seen guys have the force feedback of way too high at this track, and where every little bump wants the car to turn. And I've told a lot of drivers you need to probably have it turned down to where you can feel the car in its contact with the ground, but you don't need it taking the wheel out of your hand. Yeah,
that's a big thing. And that's really every track. And a lot of pro drivers, they'll go with almost no force feedback just because, they don't want to feel the car giving them some feedback that they may or may not need to react to. They're going to know whether they need to react to it based on the way that the car positions. And, you kind of see that once you kind of see that front windshield turn one way or the other, the nose turn one way or the other, you can kind of feel, or the RPMs going up and the tail getting loose, you can kind of feel what's going on. So, the same thing. You turn that thing down, turn that steering ratio down, and go race and have some fun with it. And unfortunately, not everybody shares that information. We try to do as much as we can here with everybody so we can have a clean race. Probably the most cautions we've had on a big track this year. But again, it's still fun just to come out here and hang out with these guys.
Yeah, it's just big tracks. And it's the great equalizer, though. So,
no doubt about that. And, talking about putting the schedule together for these cars, we talked about this series. We wanted it to be a racers series, so we put a lot of small tracks on there. Not a lot of mile and a halves. We did do the Daytona and Talladega once, but a lot of these drivers you see in the field, even some that got wrecked out early, unfortunately. Logan Powers really fast, Cameron Hearn obviously really fast. Those kind of guys getting knocked out early is going to hurt. These guys that are still in here, you're going to see. You're going to see Joseph Murata. You're going to see Landon Quisenberry and Joseph did really, really well. You're going to see Samuel Fontaine, Anthony Ludi. I believe they're in the same group together, and I'm not sure if Chris is with them or not. But you're going to see guys like that they're pretty stinking fast as well. They're going to do well here. As I guess we're coming to lap 36, so not too much longer.
Oh, we're going to be completing lap 36 here as the lights are off on the pace car, so we're going to get back to it again. With Fontaine leading the way, Ludi will be on his outside. Couric is going to be the second car in that on the low line with the 75 Pringles of, you said, Landon Quisenberry. It's like Patrick O'Brien. He's on the outside there. So a lot of these drivers, like you said, there's a lot of teams going on here, and some of these guys have been here for a lot of the races. A lot of people just haven't seen Fontaine in a little while. And then we also, like you said, these R's that you have in here are some of the guys that we just started racing with yesterday.
I'll tell you what, these guys that came in yesterday, a lot of friends with Justin Wilson. Justin Wilson, obviously a wheelman on the Watkins Glen course we were at, but everybody he brought in last night to run our recruitment race, and the Cup cars at Watkins Glen were really stinking good. So brought them in tonight, and they're holding their own, doing well, staying out of trouble, and you're going to see, I think they got 4 or 5 of those guys together. You're going to see them try to come up through the pack as well.
We have Fontaine with Chris Couric pushing him, and Ludi in the Navy car with Patrick O'Brien, the 59, pushing him with Pat McVicker behind them.
I'll tell you one to watch out for in the back here. Number 4, Chase Berry. Watch Chase Berry. If he can get up there with Justin Wilson, I believe he's going to be in the 17th position right now. It really doesn't matter where you're at right now on this track. You can pass pretty quick. But if he can get hooked up with Justin Wilson, which is his teammate, they may make a move here pretty quick, and you're going to see some action from that group. Another guy's got a pretty clean car.
He's got a clean car. Looks like Wilson has a little bit of damage on his rear spoiler.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to help him or hurt him. He looks like he's okay right now, but those two will definitely hook up. Oh, we got one down in the grass there.
I'm trying to see who that is. It's sliding all over the place. Is that McVicker?
That is McVicker. He is. Looks like he's going to be done for the race. No caution. Again, all flags are handled by iRacing, so no caution. He was out of the way, so he'll
Get some damage at that left front there, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be done for the night for sure.
Seth Ryder now back, your race leader. While we were talking about that 152's just got a nose for the front.
Yeah, he does. He's really getting it.
Oh, Ludi in the 46. That was pretty interesting there. As the 25 and the 46 were kind of leaning on each other through the tri-oval. How you can lean on each other at 200 miles an hour and keep it going straight, but
I'm gonna tell you what, just sitting in the cars tonight, me and Cameron were joking about it. All you're hearing is boom, bang, crash. I mean, that's what you're hearing the whole time, and it's like it's amazing that we're going these speeds, and then they're running 3 wide, 4. We went 4 wide going into 3 and 4 one time. I said it's gonna look great for the broadcast. So I mean, it's pretty wild.
Seth Ryder, and this is pretty much what we saw in the beginning half of this race. The 46 pushing the 152. You got Brigani pushing the 81, and that's Kevin Anderson. I believe those guys are teammates.
Yeah, they are. Again, I wouldn't doubt seeing. I'm more in the back of the pack right now, watching what's going on. Kohlhaas and Murata, they'll probably get together again. Quisenberry will get together with them. And we'll see what happens from there.
Yeah, you got Joe, Kohlhaas, and Quisenberry helping that train on the top side. They're 5 deep now. You got Fontaine helping that low line. They're 5 deep on the bottom. So the numbers are kind of even between the two, and it's just about positioning. I mean, the high side always has the advantage going down the straightaways, but if that turn speed, it starts to drop off pretty quickly if you don't have the numbers with it.
Yeah, you really, what I've learned at these tracks and seen at these tracks is that it is all about being on that bottom line. Whoever's on that bottom line has just got a better shot. Now we did have a couple of our guys go to an invitational for Grid Finder and win it on the outside line at the very end, but and that happened to be Murata, Quisenberry, and Mike Aiello. But it's very rare that you're going to see that. But you're seeing Ira Kohlhaas and those guys up there. They're making something out of that top line. This thing they're kind of riding right now. And it's going to get pretty dicey here in the next couple of laps.
Looks like that top line's going to be able to get something going down here, down the backstretch. But it's just pretty much with these cars. It's how is your drafting partner? You have the cars hooked up. And a lot of guys like to bump draft, and I've always told them that you really don't need to bump draft. You just need to be right, pretty much locked in like how Dunwoody is right on that Seth Ryder's car. Is there's never really any separation between the two cars. They're not bump drafting, but they're basically operating as one car.
Just stay tight. The tighter you can stay, the better. And here we go now. What I was just saying, you got Wilson and the 16 car hooked up together. So now they're up there in front of Kohlhaas, right behind Joe Murata, making 3 wide. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see. I believe it's 64 is also part of that group. So these guys are going to be pretty fun to watch here at the end of the race.
Yeah, they're looking at 3 wide now. We got that high side. Looks like that's the 16, like you said, up on the high side. But they're going to need to have numbers for that to work. Yeah,
look for Joe to stick with Briganti in the 81. I doubt he's going to go anywhere else. I wouldn't doubt Ira Kohlhaas jumping down there with him since his teammate Brendan Massey's not here tonight. He's usually a run with the Wilder Graphics guys. But 3 wide coming through the tri-oval, man, that is a lot sketchier than it looks. I mean, they're making it look easy, but man, it is tough to hold that line.
A lot of side draft. The cars get upset from the cars around them. And it's really easy to come off the tri-oval with the banking there and be shot, and for the outside line get shot up towards the line, or just the middle line getting a little bit loose and coming up, and there's just no more track available.
Absolutely. I mean, it's your depth perception is a little off, and even in VR full immersion, man, it just feels really, really weird when you get in there because you don't know where everything is. And even in the turns, you can kind of hear. I know that sounds weird, but you can kind of hear the sound of the other cars bouncing off the wall, the reverb, and you know how close you are. Going through that tri-oval, you don't have that same perception, and it's just a little dicey, especially when it's 3 wide like it is right now. You got Brigante again with Murata trying to catch up with Ludi, Dunwoody, and Ryder. So it's they're making it look easy, man. But I'm going to tell you what, it's just not that easy.
And these are the older style cars that don't have the clear spoiler. So that spoiler's cutting about half of the view through that rear window. So you really can't look through the car in front of you. You got to look to the side of him to get your position on the track.
Oh, man. And I tell you what, that's a great point. You're going down the straightaway. When you're tucked in that tight, you don't know when the turn starts. And you'll see a lot of guys that are tucked in really, really tight get loose going into that turn because they don't know when that turn starts. And that turn starts and they kind of drift up the track a little bit and they kind of do a hang on and yank it back down. But man, it does get tricky. But another thing, staying tight with these cars, learning practice with a couple of the other cars. If you're staying tight and not bump drafting, I think you're going to start to see some of these cars dip out of the draft a little bit to get some air, because it does not take long for these cars to overheat. Probably about 10 laps, and they're just going to grenade. So you'll see some of these guys kind of bobbing and weaving. I don't think they don't have control of their car is not the issue. It's just the fact they're trying to get a little bit of clean air. Ira Kohlhaas doing the same thing right now. So that's going to be pretty normal.
You're seeing Justin Wilson in that 16 of Ayers trying to make that high side work, as you still continue to see Dunwoody and Ryder working that bottom line. And I guess I haven't seen the fixed setups in a while for these cars, but I was always under the point that they couldn't blow up under the fixed setup, but you're telling me that they've been overheating a fix, so that's a little different from my racing.
100%, yeah, and I think it's 0 tape on these cars, but like I said, if you don't bump draft and you're just keeping a tight nose, you're just not getting any circulation, so it's almost like running 100% tape. Oh man, that was a really close call right up there for, it looks like, the 6th and 7th position.
Adam O'Brien, he's just...
Yeah, Adam and Sam, they were getting pretty tight there. Oh man, and it looks like Sam just touched him a little bit, had to back out. Hopefully he can gather back up. Looks like he is. But man, that's tough right there. Good save.
So Adam O'Brien, he's in that 775. He was in that first caution with you, and he's kind of getting out of the way, just kind of trying to salvage some kind of points tonight, because I know he's actually, for this series, he's been moving up pretty heavily in the point standings.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the good thing about the points here. You don't have to show up every week, and during the summer, we want you to spend time with your family. Everybody's got that deal. It's not, we're competitive, but it's not that type of league. So 15 points to the winner, 1 point to the 15th place car. So you can miss a race here or there and, finish pretty well. I think Justin Wilson made 6 races to start with, won 5 of them, and he was leading the points, and everybody else had run 10 or 11 races. So, makes it a lot easier for these guys to come in here, and he is climbing those charts. And then he does get that 1 point just for finishing the race. That's another thing. These guys hanging in here, even with a damaged car, and you'll probably see me jump out there to finish the last lap or two, because you do get that 1 point just for finishing the race.
Landon Quisenberry is leading the points right now with Wilson in second, Kohlhaas, then Adam O'Brien, Michael Steffen, Gonez, Ludi, and you're in 8th, and tied in 9th is Gunther and Couric. They're showing the standings up there.
He's up tonight riding his Harley, so if he's back home and watching or whatever, and has a shout out to Dilly G, taking this week off and spending some much needed time with the family, and finally got some cool weather up there in Canada.
And we're looking in this front right here. It's 6 cars, and Fontaine looks like flashing in and out. So the front 10 side by side, 2 deep all the way around. As Kohlhaas is up in the 3rd line with Patrick O'Brien on his inside. The 58 continue to push that 16. Now they have help with the 81 and the 22 on the high side.
Yeah, I'm trying to find who's who with teammates here. I know the bottom 3 are teammates. I don't see them breaking at any point. Fontaine, I believe, is with them as well. The 81 car, no telling which way he's going to go. I would assume he'd stay up at that top line. with Wilson, and who's up there with Wilson.
The 81's behind Wilson. Ayers is one of the guys that just came over, the 16. So I think those guys are working together.
Yeah, that's a teammate from last night, so they'll work together. I don't see them coming off each other. So I think it's probably going to stay pretty much like it is right now. I don't see much happening back there. The two cars that are playing a different strategy completely are going to be Landon Quisenberry and Chase Berry. You also have Chandler Summer back there in the 12th position. They're playing I'm going to sit back here and wait for everybody to wreck card. So you never know what's going to happen there either.
Using some of our static cameras now, watching this big field come by and the taking of the racetrack as these big engines come tearing through Talladega.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what, in the wind displacement these cars put off, I mean, it's like a dump truck. Like, what do they say about Jeeps? If it was supposed to be fast, it wouldn't be built like a toaster. That's kind of how we feel about these cars here. And they push so much wind off of them that coming by that camera, it'd probably take it off its mount. A little bit of dicey between, I believe that's it's either O'Brien or Dunwoody there and Kohlhaas. They both saved it, so not bad there.
O'Brien is in that orange car there, and it's Rapp and Whitehead. It's in that group with Kohlhaas on the high side, as we're watching David Dunwoody and Ryder on the bottom with the 16 of Ayers and Wilson on the high side. So they're just basically kind of trading back and forth to which line's ahead, depending on what part of the racetrack that they're at. But that high side team seems to have the numbers right now.
It'll be pretty interesting to see who's got it coming across the start-finish line here. I think they're probably trying to test who's got what, and can we make this high line work at the end of the race as we come to 6 to go here. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see, who can squeak that thing out. A couple of cars kind of dropping back here. Looks like that top line kind of lost some momentum. 4 cars are going to come up and get Ira Kohlhaas. Looks like another car is going to pop up in the back there as well.
Yeah, Fontaine jumped up there. Yeah, maybe the Fontaine, was he blinking? It's like,
there's a couple blinking. I think we got some thunderstorms in different parts of the country right now, so a lot of guys having some issues. But
yep. Kathy Joe, she's watching on Facebook for the Wendigo Studios, and she's in Dundalk, which is outside of Baltimore, to my south, and she says a pretty heavy thunderstorm coming her way. I told her earlier in the broadcast, keep that stuff there. I don't need anything to go wrong up here.
Nothing about that. Shout out to Kathy Joe. She's about as loyal as they come, watching the broadcast and cheering these guys on. So I always appreciate her coming in and watching and commenting. All the guys love seeing somebody cheer for them every now and then. That's for sure.
Oh, your wife just giving us a shout out here. Whoa, the 16 dives in front of the 152. Leaves his buddy out there, Justin Wilson, by himself there. So
left him to dry. So what's going to happen now? That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, so Justin's out there by himself with the 81 pressing him. And Kathy Joe, she sends out a thank you back to you there, Anthony, for the good sentiment. And like I said, Jennifer, she's here as well. She gives us the clap, the little applause sign. She's watching as well.
Oh, she's the best, man. She's awesome. Make sure she gets on here to watch. And she came in. She had to do a little bit of work last night. Came in late while I was doing the interview, and she said, "Did you mention me in the interview?" I said, "Yes, I did. You just came in a little bit too late." But so
and we're on the outside here,
right back down,
and right back down in front of the 16.
He's gonna take him out.
No. Big, that's the big one with 5 to go. Oh man, the 152 right there. That was the big one.
Absolutely, 16 and the 152. That was just that was going to happen. I don't think there was any way to get around it.
So we're working here at the beginning of that lap. You see the 152 and the 16. He's going to shoot around him and get back in front of him. And Dunwoody's watching this. from the 46 perspective. So you see these guys on the backstretch. That's where the pass is made. Ryder goes around. He has help with Wilson, and he's got a heck of a run. You see that 152 uses that run, gets in front of the 16 going into turn 3 and 4. And then the contact between the 16 and the 152 going into turn 3. And look at all the cars that are involved. Like 12 cars in that. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm gonna tell you too. It was kind of odd there because the 152 really did not have enough room coming down there. I mean, I was kind of surprised he didn't get spun out on the backstretch, but it is what it is. He was bound to get hit for sure, but a lot of cars got tangled up into that. Going back at the replay, seeing how some of these other guys did. Landon Quisenberry, one of those guys I was telling you about, was kind of just hanging back, not doing anything, gets through it unscathed, no problem. Looks like we're going to get some guys here. A couple of guys got through with no. Now it's going to be who's got no scars, We got Wilson and the 81 of Kevin Anderson. Ayers in that 16. Looks like he didn't really get much damage, being part of that. As we got 4 laps to go, so it'll probably be a green-white checker here. As we got guys on pit lane, only the top 6 stayed out. Yeah. And as I jump in my car, I've got 36 seconds left of repairs here, so I'll probably jump out there and do a little commentating from on the track. So we'll be doing a green-white checkered finish here. We have 2 of those, if I remember right. But this one will one. And the good thing about next week too, we're going to add we do have a fast repair built into the Cup race, so that'll be interesting because kind of wish I would have had one tonight for sure. I had to run most of that race without a hood, and I got a hood back on now. It's not too straight, but we'll see what happens with it. Well, we do have that ability to see that now with our timing and scoring to see who's taking the fast repair. So it'll be interesting. It's funny because between this league and the other league that I broadcast, actually all my leagues, nobody's using fast repairs after the ATVO guys and I worked so hard to get it working. And then nobody used it after that. So it'll be kind of cool to see that again so we can actually report that. We're working now trying to see if we can figure out tire changes, but right now we gotta kind of watch that happen more than actually see it. So. Yeah, and we do the no fast repair so that people will, pay a little bit more attention to their wheel in the beginning. A lot of guys get out here and it's a simulator. They don't work on it. But, if you've raced before in the past, it's not that easy. You break it, you got to fix it kind of deal. And once you understand that, you kind of drive a little bit different, in my opinion, even on the simulator. So we kind of try to instill that same mindset with these guys. But track like this many cars, fast repairs, not a bad thing to have. Yeah, the fast repairs for most of the tracks, like you said, it's like I always have a spare, and the guy can make a risky move and know he's got a spare. I've seen guys that maybe squirt the middle when they maybe shouldn't have, and hey, if nothing else, if the worst that happens, I can go back to the spare car, that kind of thing. And like you said, these super speedways tend to grab up everybody, like we just saw there. We did a pretty good job not doing this towards the end. So, and this is our first green-white checker is being shown up on the board now. So we're first of the 2. Yep. So we're extended now. It's going to be interesting again to see who gets through this deal, and not a whole lot of cars on the track now. I was like I said, I'm able to make it back out here. Not as many cars in front of me as there was before. Yeah, it looks like Dunwoody is the 10th place car, and not sure how much damage he has, if he was involved in that. So I see if I can get a hold of him here. And he's pretty tore up in that Big Jim Cookie's 46, but he is being scored on the lead lap. So is Joe Marotta, and Joe is also on the lead lap, and he's not as tore up as Andy, so he might actually be able to get back up there a little bit and play. But like you say, Ira Kohlhaas, he's doing pretty good with his car. Looks pretty clean. Samuel Fontaine looking pretty good as well. But like you said, Landon Quisenberry, though, looks like he has a car that hasn't been touched, and he has a 0X as well as Kevin Anderson in the 81. So up front, we have the 6th and 2nd place cars that are super clean, getting ready to go for this last, green, white checker here, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure. It's I think Ira looks pretty good as well, but we'll see what happens here. Try and drop the hammer and go from there.
Yeah, and then 64, he's got some damage. We got some other people. I see you right behind Worley there. And then number 48 in front of you. Pace car is off of the track now. So Justin Wilson will bring us back to the flag as we get into the restart zone. It'll be on him to bring us to the green flag. The number 58 driver.
Yeah, the neat thing about this track, the weird thing is the restart zone is so far down the track. You're used to it being right in the middle of the tri-oval, but it's at the end of the tri-oval here, so you got to wait forever. So here we go.
And here we go, green flag racing. The 58 with about a 2-car jump on that inside line. The 81 of Kevin Anderson has help with numbers 5 deep on the high side. The 16 and Kohlhaas coming up on the low side. So that sticks for out for 2 laps of the green-white checkered. So we'll be coming around this time, and they will receive the white flag as we're on the backstretch. Once the lead car passes the white flag, the race becomes official, and no cautions will be thrown after that, is how the green-white checker works. 81 has the race lead with Fontaine on the inside line with Wilson behind them. Ludi and Landon Quisenberry on the outside with Joe Marotta about 4 car lengths back. Needs to catch up to help out Quisenberry.
Yeah, Joe's got some damage. It looks like Ira just jumped up there, but watch that 75 car, man. I think he's up on top of that wheel, man.
The leader catching the white flag. 1 to go from 1 to Go Studios. This race will finish on this lap. 81 and the 22 on the bottom line. The 22 looking to pass stays there. 81.58 behind him, the 16, all working the bottom line. The 75 has help with Ludi pressing hard with Ira Kohlhaas, puts him into the lead on the backstretch. The 16 car has gone away from his teammate and moving to the high side. The 29, the 25, and the 75 all look like one car. Landon Quisenberry down to the bottom in front of 81, coming around the final corner.
What a move. What a move by Lando.
Landon Quisenberry trying hard. The 81 underneath the yellow line into the tri-oval. The 75 trying to hold on as we're coming across. And the 58 will end up winning the race. Justin Wilson, as a lot of hooks were happening right going to the flag.
Wow, that was interesting.
As you see here, we are got about 5 wide with the 22 completely off track on the inside of the apron. And he comes up right in front of the whole field, the 22 and the 58 and the 25 cross first with the 81, or no, the 13 of Andy Bergani in the 3rd position.
Yeah, great run by Andy. I mean, that's, again, you never know who's going to win here. But, that's a league thing, is you can't pass below the yellow line. So, that'll have to be reviewed. But, these super speedway races, sometimes you just it looks like kind of get pushed down there. So you didn't really have much to work with. But, man, that really, I know I'd heard Landon. He was trying to get another win somewhere other than Michigan. But, it is what it is sometimes. So, at least it was an interesting finish, I guess you could say.
It definitely was an interesting finish, but like I said, you guys will have your work cut out for you to look over the Fontaine car, because he came off that apron and basically cut right across the racetrack.
Yeah, absolutely. But, it's hopefully all the cars can make it back around, too. That's what I'm looking at to make sure. It looks like everybody that finished there should be okay, but hopefully they can make it around and it'll be okay. But yeah, looking at it, it looks like the 75 got down into the 81 there, kind of pushed the 22 down under that line. So he really didn't have a choice. coming back up. When you get down, I'll tell you what, getting down under that, there's zero grip. It's like getting on ice too. So, trying to get that thing turned is very difficult. But we'll take a look at him still, and it is what it is. But congratulations, Justin Wilson. It seems like he can't lose right now, no matter what is going on here. So we'll bring him on in from victory lane.
Yeah, we're gonna cut with Andy Bergani. He's our third place driver, so we're gonna move things around so we can gonna have to move that car a little bit because he's right up against the wall. So we want to show people what the heck it looks like. So we'll pull Andy up here. Andy Bergani, man, you got that 13 Send It Racing car into the third spot. One heck of a finish with 5 wide racing coming off of turn 4. You're up here in the booth with me and Anthony.
Hey guys, how's it going?
You're doing pretty good, man. You got to tell us what it looked like from your perspective up there.
I don't know. I was just kind of happy the last 3 laps trying to just come home with a top 10. And I saw the guys ahead of me getting a little antsy up there, and I was like, well, something's going to happen. So I'm going to try to maybe shoot the middle if I need to, or go down to the bottom side if I need to try to avoid the wreck. So I guess it worked out. I don't know. It's the first time I've been here. I don't know what to say. I'm not much of a talker. They told me to get in the car and drive. I drove it.
Well, Andy, I'm going to tell you what, sitting here in the cockpit of your car looking at this thing, it is definitely a Code Brown moment for you going through that trioval, man, because you can't see anything. And to come out finishing third, man, congratulations. Yeah, that was kind of like Days of Thunder, just keep it high and pedal to the metal, man, because there's nowhere else to go.
Yeah, that's what I was doing, Anthony, is hoping for the best.
Congratulations, buddy. No, you did great. It's like the seas parted and you opened up, and there you were third. So, congratulations, man. A lot of fun. These tracks are always fun. A lot of tough racing. But man, great job, man. Great run.
Thank you. Thanks for the race. I appreciate it.
All right, Andy Bergani, the 13 Send It Racing car in the third position. So we're going to now try to get with Anthony Ludi. To move around that camera again. These guys are really tight today. Here we go. There's the 25. We'll get him up in here. Anthony Ludi, the 25 Navy car in the second spot. Got you in here with Anthony Giuliano and Harold in the booth, man. Second place, and one heck of a finish there. 5 wide at one spot off of 4.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. That was a crazy finish, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure you had a better view than we did.
Oh my gosh, like my palms are still sweating. I just stayed in the gas and just tried to hold it straight, and it was like they were playing ping pong with race cars, man. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Looking at both of you guys, so you, Justin, and Andy, it was just like hold on for dear life and pray you make it through there, man. But it just kind of cleared up, and there you guys were at the end to take it all. Kind of thought Landon was going to have it, but a lot of bouncing going around the whole track. And I was telling these guys during the broadcast how hard it is to hold it 3 wide, and just doing it all night, and bump drafting and changing lanes. You did a great job of holding your own, keeping your car clean, and getting that second place finish, man.
Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I saw Ira take it 3 wide there with only like 2 to go, and I just was like, oh man, here we go. This is about to get wild. And sure enough, it was. Hopefully it looked good on the broadcast, and would just like to take a moment and thank everybody here at our LSRL for what they do. It is a privilege to race here. I'm having a great time, and second podium in the league, man. I'm stoked about that. So thank you guys for everything you do to make it happen.
All right. Anthony Ludi, second place tonight is Navy 25. And we'll catch him next week. We're heading over to Charlotte next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. See ya. All right. And let's get with the checkered flag is Justin Wilson. Anthony, you might need to help him out with a paint scheme or a sponsor because, this purple and white car definitely needs something. Justin Wilson, you're in the booth with Harold and Anthony, man. At 58, wins another one in a wild finish at Talladega.
Yeah, that was great. I did not expect that.
Yeah, it was. We were watching it from both the tail, the chase angle, far chase, in car cockpit area, and it's pretty wild how that thing ended up there. Looks like 75 kind of got down into the 81, which pushed the 22 down under the yellow line, and there you were with nowhere to go, and they all just kind of cleared high for you and made way.
Yeah, like I said, I had no idea what happened. I just know I was behind the 22, and I was trying to get out from behind him. And like you said, next thing I know, he's down there on the apron, and I'm just hoping for the best. He doesn't come flying back up, which when he came back up, I like bumped him, which knocked me down, which I honestly, I think saved me because it kind of knocked me clear of anybody. And I had the 25 or whoever was behind me, they were just shoving me. So it was insane. I mean, the damage on the car really hurt us. So I knew I didn't have a shot to win after that crash too, just being out front. Kind of got ran over under caution. But I was hoping to push Brandon to the win out there. We were working really well together, and so I don't know how the car's unfolded for us to be out front.
Well, definitely a different win, but it's a back-to-back for you. You were at the Glen last week, so we'll be heading out to Charlotte next week for the Xfinity Series next Wednesday, and next Tuesday we'll be back to Dega with the Cup cars.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm trying to make the rest of them that I can.
I was telling Anthony, you said, this car looks like it might need to get a ride on the wild side. What do you think, Anthony?
Yeah, you're definitely winning a Wilder Graphics paint job on this car, but I mean, I love it, and I want to add some sponsors to it or something. So get with me during the week, and we're going to slap something together for you before Wednesday or Tuesday and Wednesday next week. All right.
That sounds good, boss man.
All right, Justin Wilson, your race winner for Talladega.
Yeah, man. Hey, anybody out there you want to thank at home, or do we just drop them out?
Justin, before I let you go, man, you've been up here so many times, I forgot to ask you to thank your people.
I want to thank you guys. Thank Anthony for putting on the show. Thank you for letting me bring my friends in. We all race really well together. It was a lot of fun. We were trying to come up with some strategies and stuff, and like I said, you guys are putting the show on. But yeah, I really enjoy it.
All right, we'll end up catching him next week, Anthony. You got anything else for him?
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming out, supporting the league, and we'll see you on Tuesday night.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that was Justin Wilson. We'll have to go over our actual results here real quick. Here's our results on screen here for the Buttkicker 58 for the LSRL Xfinity Series. The results presented by Grid Finder. Find your place on the grid. We have Wilson winning the race with Anthony Ludi behind him and Andy Bergani in the third spot. Ayers, Murata, and Sommer in 4th, 5, and 6th. 7th was Anderson. Samuel Fontaine in 8th. Quisenberry brings it home 9th. Ira Kohlhaas 10th. In the 11th spot was David Dunwoody and Keith Bouchard in the 12th spot, all on the lead lap. Adam O'Brien finishes 2 laps down in the 13th position. Ryder 6 laps down. Pat O'Brien 6 laps down. Rapp was, okay, I guess this is gaps, so plenty of laps behind them. So I'll have to look at why that's showing gaps, but it should be showing the results. Yep, so from O'Brien, Ryder, O'Brien, Rapp, Couric, Whitehead, Barry, and McVicker rolls out 20. And then 21 on back was Hearn, Giuliano, Chris, I never get his name right, Powers, Worley, Moore, and Velzy. Velzy usually does race control, but he was out there for a little while tonight.
Yeah, we've been switching off race control with High Slide, and it's just been tough, to commit 2 nights a week to your own league and then commit another 2 nights to another league. And, we just said we'll kind of tower our own races, and but if you want to come race with us and we'll come race with you kind of deal. Him and Andrew been coming out and running with us. So that's been fine and fun. But, we have a lot of fun with those guys. Got a lot of good drivers in that series as well. Some of crossover guys. I know Holt and the Converse guys, Christian and Jeff run over there. Joseph Causey runs over there as well. So, some guys that cross over between both of those leagues. So a good sister league to have some friends in, but always fun to have those guys out here racing with us for sure.
Now, last thing to go over is the biggest movers. Ludi up 23 spots to the second position. And then Sommer and Ayers 17 and 15 positions up through the night. So pretty good day for Ludi, man. Starting off in the 25th position, and then up into second. So he started the position equal to his car number, and it moves up 23 throughout the night. So pretty good night for Andy Ludi.
Yeah, absolutely. Always a good driver out here too. So, like I said, we got a lot of good drivers. Got some that are going to be joining us again next week. So, kind of anxious to get back behind the Cup cars on Tuesday night and see how we run.
And as the schedule shows here, we have Charlotte, Nashville, and New Hampshire. And I assume that's the super speedway of Nashville, right? The new speedway track? Or is that the fairgrounds? It
actually was set up for the fairgrounds. So we will have a discussion whether we want to take that to the super speedway or not, because we were trying to keep them short tracks. But yeah, we'll probably test that track out since it's a new one. But we may keep it as the fairgrounds since it is a new one. Some people might not have it, but yeah, that'll be a decision we may have to make a little bit closer to that race.
All right. Well, we are going to go back to the 1.5 Charlotte Motor Speedway next week, and then on Tuesday we'll have the Cup Series moving here in the Talladega. It's been a heck of a night here. Fast race as we're done before 10 o'clock with interviews and everything. So it was a pretty quick event. Fast speeds out there, and one heck of a finish for the Light Speed Racing League here. And you got anything for the people here, Anthony? I know you're looking for more drivers still.
Yeah, if anybody wants to join the league on our Tuesday night Cup Series, for the rest of the rest of this year, we got 5 races left. Just look us up on iRacing, shoot us an application, and we'll take a look at it and try to get you in next Tuesday night. Wednesday night has always been pretty good for us. We average about 24 drivers. I think we had, I don't know how many we had tonight, closer to the 25, 30. Yeah, so if anybody wants to join, come on out. It's a lot of competitive racing, but a lot of good guys as well. So, really appreciate everybody that comes out, supports the league. Thank Sim Speed Shop, thank Grid Finder, got to thank Buttkicker, Wilder Graphics, Dry Towel, Proto Simtech. These guys. We're going to give away a button box tonight. I don't have in front of me who won that button box, but Sim Speed Shop for putting that button box up for one of our drivers to win randomly. So yeah, just a lot of fun. Thank the drivers, thank the sponsors, and as I always say, I know we have the best broadcast on sim racing. So really appreciate what you do, and we'll again look forward to getting back at it Tuesday night.
All right, so for Wendigo Studios, Anthony Giuliano in the booth, me, I'm Harold Darner, and until next time, we'll see you at the next turn.
What an exciting race brought to you by Wendigo Studios. Here they come out of turn 4 to the white flag, and it's 1 to go. Thank you to all our sponsors, drivers, and viewers. We'll see you